everyone, welcome back to Pepper's Pages. I realized recently that in a couple of videos ago I mentioned the Inferno by Dante Alighieri and completely forgot to talk about it in a video, so that's what I wanted to discuss today. This wasn't something that was originally planned to read this year. I'm really glad I did. We did it as a buddy read. It took me longer than it should have, honestly, to finish this. And that's mostly because of the language that is used for this poem. It was kind of hard to get through. I enjoyed it a whole lot, and a lot of the imagery given in this is absolutely terrifying. So it's well worth the read. But there was a lot in this that I was not expecting. I will say I did know about this, obviously well before I knew about the video game. This was released in 2010. I was in like late middle school, early high school when this came out, and I played it. Probably a little too young, but I don't think anybody really knew what I was playing at the time. They differ so much, and I'm gonna kind of delve into that because I just thought it'd be funny. One thing that was very helpful to me in reading this is this Barnes & Noble's, I believe it's a classics edition. This was kind of hard to find. I had to hunt it down on Half Price Books and have it shipped to me, but I'm very glad that I did look this up. Originally I had a copy that had both the English translation and the Italian poem in it. I was going to try and power through that, and I'm really glad that I was convinced to get this copy for the buddy read that I did, just because it has so many like helpful things in it. Most of this book is honestly just like information about it. Like, they have a foreword, they have details about the book, different illustrations that you can use. They even have this little guide for the different layers of hell. I won't show any of the photos because they are pretty gratuitous in some points. But something I really loved about this was, for one, it was annotated by someone else. So a lot of the stuff that I would kind of get hung up on would be explained by them, or they were pointing out things that I hadn't noticed yet. It turns out this was for a grade. At the very end, someone graded their work. But in total, there are about 31 cantos, I believe. And what really helped me get through it was in the earlier part of this book, they have each canto broken down, kind of into a summary. So I was able to go in, read the canto, and if I was completely lost by what was happening, I could go in and read that summary, get an idea of what was going on, and reread it. And that ultimately is why it took me so long to finish this. It shouldn't have taken me that long, but again, the language in this is very hard to understand if you're not used to it. But overall, it's very terrifying. I will say there is one level in particular that holds false prophets, and I think that was the scariest level to me, because their heads and limbs were all turned around backwards, and they were forced to see behind them and walk backwards the rest of their lives instead of seeing into the future like they claimed in human life. Now, I'm not going to get into what I believe personally with mediums and stuff like that, but Dante clearly has it out for people who were false prophets or mediums, and that one really stood out to me. It's really funny how many fart jokes are in this too. That's not something that I was expecting. I even completely missed one. It was pointed out to me and I just about died because it was so funny. But that's not something you would expect from someone so long ago. But overall, I did enjoy this. I'm glad that I read it. I do look forward to getting to Purgatory, or Purgatorio, one or the other. I understand that that one's a little less rough to get through, but I'm very happy that I picked this up. Now, in terms of this, and I was saying this is very different. I was really young playing this game, and it's the same concept. It's based off of the poem by Dante Alighieri, but the thing with this is Dante is a warrior. His wife is taken to the underworld. He must go get her spirit back. In this, Beatrice and Dante aren't even a thing. And I will absolutely say this, and you can gripe at me all you want, Mr. Man, but Dante Alighieri was kind of a simp. Like, he based Beatrice's character off of a woman he saw maybe 3 times in his whole life, spoke to maybe once. And he just fawned after her his whole life, to the point that he put her inside this book and tried to save her. They have no relationship. Dante in the book and Beatrice, he's just doing this out of the kindness of his own heart. But in this, they do have a relationship. This is, when I say this is gratuitous in like a whole different way. If you know nothing about this game, I highly recommend like looking up some sort of clips from it, because it is absolutely hilarious. While reading this, or after reading this, I went to add it to the app that I keep up with all my books in, and I noticed that this one has a novelization that I really want to get, mostly because, and I have, now that I'm older and I understand that it is wrong the way they portray the female characters in this game. I don't think I really realized it until we played through it, a little bit of it, last year at some point, maybe the year before. It had to have been last year, but we'll just say, like, if you look up the Medusa character design for this, it's very interesting. She has mouths where there shouldn't be mouths, so I think it would be really hilarious to find the novelization of this video game and see exactly how they go about describing those situations, because it's not just Medusa, it's like so many other characters that they pop up and you're just like, like, what are you even doing? But you play as Dante, you go through, you decide who can be saved and sent to heaven and rescued from hell, and who deserves to stay there. Something that was really funny about this is there are a lot of big names that are dropped in this book. You can tell who Dante really did not like. I'm not going to name them specifically, because when you get to them, you'd be like, whoa, really? Like, I will say, I think the one person that I will mention that kind of surprised me that was there was probably Ulysses. I kind of always thought he would be more of a hero character. It was explained to me why he's there, and why Dante would probably put Ulysses in there. But, I mean, if it were me, I'd just stick the guy in purgatory. Like, I don't know, feel like he was that bad. I haven't read Ulysses, but anyway, it's just really funny who was name dropped in this and where they were placed. And the fact that it's so old, and now if it was to be written, there would be some very interesting names added. This one, since it's a little more modern, you get more modern villains. We're going to put it that way, because I don't exactly want to name them off. But yeah, the difference between these two is absolutely wild. I can't believe that I started off with this as my ideal, like, Dante's Inferno. I did finish this as a kid. We've not touched this since last year, because it's just so tacky. But I keep it because it's hilarious, honestly. Just like the concept and the fact that they would go as far as they did with the character designs and him and all of his powers that he gets. It's honestly unbelievable. Like, I really suggest looking at footage of this game, because it might blow your mind, like, just how many liberties they took with it. But keeping it anyway. So I hope I did a good explanation of this book. It's kind of hard to go into. If you don't know what Dante's Inferno is, I should have explained this in the beginning. I did mention that he travels to hell to save the spirit of a woman, or the soul of Beatrice. He is led by Virgil, who is basically his mentor. He's helping him get through this and navigate. They really don't have to do a whole lot. Honestly, they mostly are just walking around, looking at their environment, kind of taking in what's going on, making their own opinions. It's mostly about what you learn along the journey, and what Dante learns. So, again, hard language. This was a really, really good translation, I believe. It was translated by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which we've gotten plenty of good jokes out of, and we found some of his other work aside from this. I do, again, look forward to reading Purgatory, or Purgatorio, I think it's what it's called, but that'll probably be a little while because this one did take me so long to get through. I was in kind of a reading slump at the time, so I'll give myself a break on that. But if you've never read Dante's Inferno by Dante Alighieri, I highly recommend it. Of course, it's a classic. Everyone knows the story. But yeah, if you've read it before and you have anything you would like to share about it, please do in the comments. As always, thank you for listening to me ramble about a book and a video game. I hope you're all having a great week, an even better day, and until next time, happy reading.